In today's video, we're going to be choosing the two final tools in the Harbor Freight 5-piece survival kit, and that's going to be the fire steel and the saw itself. Now, last week, you guys chose the Mora knife. Overwhelmingly, that was kind of a no-brainer, I think. Let's take a look at the candidates I have for the saw that will complete this kit. These are the three contenders. The Pocket Boy from Silky. Man, what a classic that is, at about $40. That's a little bit on the high end compared with the 5. And then the beautiful French Open L. I'll bet a lot of you guys haven't seen these. This, isn't that gorgeous? Wouldn't that look nice with our kit? So what is our kit if you're just joining us? It's a 5-piece survival kit that I carry personally that pretty much make up all the things that a guy would need in so many situations. A proper axe. We have the Graham Force Brook small forest axe here. Spyderco bushcraft knife. So a bushcrafting type of knife, Scandi grind, fire steel, and a saw made up or finished up with an excellent volley strap. You can wrap it all together, and it's just an awesome package. So we're trying to make one of these on the cheap here. So where we're at so far is we've got the excellent little Harbor Freight hatchet, which was what, about $12 or so. Well, there's a hemlock cone right there. One of the mightiest trees in the forest, and it has the smallest cone. Remind me to tell you the story, the Indian legend about that someday. And then you guys chose the excellent Mora knife over two really interesting knives, which was the Glock knife and the cold steel. Was it Finn and what? We might have to do a review on this because this is I'm really digging that knife. But that's another time. So here's where we're at. So we have two pieces, and then I didn't realize it, but Harbor Freight has its own fire steel. And I think this was $2. Magnesium strip on there. Great. Is it going to spark? I'll bet it does. Let's check it real quick. This test should be pretty straightforward. We'll do 3 cuts and I'll stack them all together for you to see it, and we can time it, and then I'll discuss what my personal experience is with all of them. Now, looking here, the Open L is a bit of a disadvantage, but it's French, so we didn't expect much from it anyway, right? Oof. Boy, I earned that. The Harbor Freight, even at $3, $4, or $5, whatever it costs, is trash. Not recommended. It has a terrible blade. It's not worth the effort of packing it around. I don't care what it costs. The handle seems to be okay ergonomically. You can get 2 hands on it, which is handy on those little saws, especially when you get tired, but it feels like it's going to break. I don't trust it, and couple that with the terrible performance of the blade, that is a no-go. So that is a piece of trash. Terrible. Now the Silky, we know, I'm not going to go into details on that. That is probably the gold standard. Fits well, good rubber grip, easy to hold on to. You can cut with 2 hands on it. Of course, you know, that's what's a Silky, man. They're always good, right? The surprise to me was how delightful the little Open L was. This is a really nice little saw, maybe a little bit on the expensive side, I guess, if you're just looking at saws in general. But if you want to have something that just gives you the fizz and that is like an heirloom item that you can get replacement blades for too, because I did see someone selling these blades. Man, this is a great little saw, and that wood handle is just, it's like butter, it's perfection. I don't know how it could be any better. I mean, what a wonderful shape that is. It was delightful to use and less fatiguing because I didn't have to hang on to it very hard. You know, sometimes there's more to a tool than just function, right? We all know that. Sometimes you just like it, right? It gives you the fizz, as we like to say. Maybe it's because I've used this one so long that I've just kind of, maybe I take it for granted. But there are some things that I don't like about this. Is it, and if you're working really hard with it, so on some dirt bike rides where we were cutting big stuff, this gets bumped a lot and the blade flips up and it gives you a heart attack because you think it's going to flip around and pinch you or cut you. I don't know why they've done that. I just don't think it's necessary. Maybe for going around and going under. I've never found it to be useful. It just seems to be a hindrance. So with that in mind, I guess I would choose, even if it's a little bit more, this open L. See, how does this look with our Harbor Freight kit? All right, let's go here. Now we're going to need to do a sheath of some sort. This little rubber sheath here just doesn't really cut it, does it? We've got our fire steel. Now that's not going to last a long time. You can see that magnesium rod is pretty small. They put a little piece of hacksaw blade on there to spark with. We've got a Mora knife, and then we can tally all this up, right? And this basically makes our whole kit with our little volet strap, little red one. I'll put links to this stuff in the subject heading if you want to check it out. So basically what a guy could do is I would do a lanyard, some way that you could pin this fire steel on here so it's not going to fall off. You know, it doesn't have to be much, just like that. And then we'll be able to combine all this into one nice little kit. This grab and go concept is kind of handy. And these straps, I mean, they're daily, they save the day for me. I know you guys, and I know some of you are going to be mad at me if I don't tell you the legend of the tiny hemlock cone. This is a hemlock cone. Hemlocks are very similar to the Doug fir out here in the forest. Actually, in the lumber industry, they're referred to as hem fir hem. When you order one or the other, you kind of just get one of the each, or one or the other, because they're so similar. But the old Native Americans used to have a legend as to why the tree got its cones and why it's so small. So if you look at a hemlock tree, there's two things about it that are a little different than some of the other conifers. One is that its top is bent over and bowed, always bent over at the top. You can tell a hemlock right away. And it will throw these little tiny cones, which are smaller than any of the other cones in the forest. And the Indian legend went that when the great gods were giving out the cones to the trees and all the attributes to their creation, the hemlock was greedy and pushed his way to the front of the line, hoping that if he could be first, he would be granted with the best gifts, the biggest cones and the finest of this and that, whatever was being given out, right? Well, the great gods, when they made aware what hemlock had done, they rebuked him and they cursed him by giving him the smallest cones in the forest. And from that day forward is why his top is bowed over and he lives out his infamy and shame, I guess. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you all on the next video.
Everybody start like this. Put your hands on your hips. Reach them high up to the sky and stretch, and stretch, and stretch. Now down, down, touch the ground. Grab your toes. Hold it. Now let go. Back, back, back to the hips. Now we'll do this. Hop, hop, hop like a bunny. Hop like a kangaroo. And now we're marching, marching, marching like a soldier.